Hello again everyone, welcome back to another episode of Final Fantasy Brave Exvius War of the Visions. My name is Mars. Today we're going to be looking at how to beat the EX quests in the Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers event currently in this game. And as you can see here, I don't have perfect marks on any of them yet, but I figured I would take you through the process of how I went ahead and beat them so that you could go ahead and replicate it yourself. Because if you've done all the normal stages already and your squad's starting to power up and be ready to do more difficult stages, then this is a good place to kind of cut your teeth. So I'm going to go ahead and clear this without trying too hard for each of the quests, because as your squad levels up, you'll be able to get closer and closer to beating it without any problems. But I'm going to go ahead and bring my squad of my most leveled people, and I'm going to go ahead and control initial placement. And each of these three are against the same main boss, but they have some different subsets of mechanics that you got to pay attention to. And we'll kind of go through those one by one, kind of as we go. So you'll notice with this first EX stage that we have the boss up here, and we have two little cactuars. These cactuars are incarnations from hell itself, because they can run up to you and use 1,000 needles, which will kill most of your characters in one hit. So you want to tap them and take a look at their hitbox and make sure that nobody is positioned within range for them to hit you. So you want to make sure everybody's within that back line. This is why you want to do custom placement. And in fact, I'm going to do a top-down view so it's easier to see. So yeah, we don't want them to come in range, because I think they can do it within one square or something like that. So we're going to make sure that we have our squishy people back more. I think, let's see, how much HP does my mom have? He probably could not tank one. Let's put him there and you there. Alright, so now Thancred is kind of closest to the boss right here. He's going to be my tank. He does have the Vow of Love card, which makes the boss want to attack him more, which is very helpful in this fight, but not required. I think with some characters and classes, you are able to learn skills that basically give them provoke, which, I would recommend to make this easier, but Thancred doesn't really need it since he has that Vow of Love card. So we are not going to screw around at all with the cactuars. We want them to die as quickly as possible. I'm going to move Thancred down here. Wait, face. I'm going to have... does this Gilgamesh... No, he doesn't start with Kotetsu. He doesn't have enough AP on turn 1, so we're just going to move him over here and have him cast Haste. But yeah, if any of you have attempted this stage, you already know that the cactuars are the most dangerous part of it, which is why you want to kill them as fast as possible. So in this case, you could use Ishtola's Foul on them. Let me see if I can actually... Yeah, I can reach them without hitting myself. I may want to position a little bit differently if I can. Nope, can't reach from there. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell, and I'm still learning how it all works. Yeah, she basically has to go over here. So I may not actually do that with her. I think I'm just going to set her up right here and cast Sharp Cast, which buffs her damage. And then I'm just going to use Medina's LB, because it is absolutely not worth getting hit by those cactuars. Cool. From here, you can hit all three of them. In fact, if you don't have a Medina of your own, Medina is a really good unit to use as your friend unit in this fight. Just because she can do that. I'm going to turn it back to normal speed. So that is very, very helpful. Now when you kill them, 2 more spawn. But it's okay. We will be okay. One of the missions is to kill all of them that spawn. But the idea behind my party's movement is I want everybody to kind of be fanned out, so that when the boss engages, I'm able to surround it. Because this boss is very annoying when it's able to move around, because it can move very far and it can do a lot of damage. So what I want is to be able to surround the boss as best as possible. So I'm going to move Thancred. Yeah, he can actually move all the way around because he has jump, which allows him to attack diagonally. I have the Dragoon sub-job on my Thancred, so he's able to do fun stuff like that. Do I have Kotetsu? I do. So what I could actually do is use Gilgamesh this turn to take out these cactuars. And again, you can do this with whatever characters you have. And now Thancred's conveniently out of the way. Since he's jumping, he cannot be hit by this. That's great. I like that. So now those are handled. I don't have to worry about them, because they can be very dangerous. And as you'll see, this boss has a pretty significant amount of HP compared to the conquest stage from the previous set of missions. Luckily, my Thancred does quite a bit of damage, which is why I'm using him. Let's do some blizzard action. Ooh, ow. Yep. So you get the same wooden horse ability as the previous conquest, so you do want to be super careful about that. Because if all of your squad kind of like they were kind of positioned in a rough spot and the boss was moving around, so there wasn't much we could do about it. And the boss just keeps moving. It's very annoying, but now hopefully we can start boxing it in a little bit. Thancred will just attack. Thancred does more damage than anybody else in my squad, so you know, as long as he's alive, I'm not too worried about it. I think I'll have him just wait here. Get that chest. The chests are what you want anyways. I think it's your sole source of tomestones. Let's see. Let's just throw a rock. Hell yeah, 8 damage. Everybody loves some good old stone throw. Okay, Gilgamesh is going to go around on this side of the boss. Let's see. I'm just going to attack. And if we could have had the boss boxed in already, that would have made life a little bit easier, but no luck. Now one of the missions is to kill everything, which means you would need to kill those 2 cactuars as well. But we're not going to bother with them because they're so far away. Damn it, this boss, it doesn't stop moving. I'm going to go ahead. Actually, I'm going to keen edge. Yeah, that'll do. It does a little bit less damage than jump, but it will not miss because I jumped and then the boss left or something like that. Engelbert is helpful in this because he does have a blade bash, which can allow you to stun the boss, and if you're able to stun it, that gives you a free turn to surround it, so I highly recommend that if that's something you're able to pull off. And just like that, the boss is dead. We never got the surround off on it, but yeah, you can see an example of how not to position your party so that both of your mages just get killed. But I'll eventually get all those missions. It is pretty tricky to control the boss in that one, but you do get some tomestones and some other drops from it, so it's not a bad stage to do. You do want to repeat it 5 times for the first time clear rewards, just like with the previous data stages. Now this stage I think is actually easier, and I think most people would agree, because there are no cactuars that can hit you with 1,000 needles, which it just makes this stage so much easier. I'm gonna go ahead and take it. I like taking Gilgamesh's in because they're good. He's good. I have some halfway decent Gilgamesh friends, so I like taking them in. But yeah, if you don't have a Gilgamesh friend to take in, it's not a big deal. The most helpful person I have in my party is Thancred, just because he is able to kind of attract the attention of the enemies without having to do too much. Speaking of attracting enemies, we're going to move the mages over into one box on this one, and the melees into another, except for Engelbert, just because, yeah, he doesn't need to be on the other side. And the reason I'm moving the mages together is because the boss will often get a first turn off where it can do a big AoE damage on your party, and it can kill your mages in one turn. So just like that. Seeing if my mages were inside of that, then they probably would have died. Luckily, we had Thancred, who, attracted the boss's attention, and then the boss attacked that squad that could tank it no problem. So that was more or less by design. Self-haste on Greg. And then we're going to go ahead and move Ishtola over here so that we can pick up the treasure chests, because other than the bonuses that you get for your first, third, and fifth clears, the chests are your only source of tomestones, so you do want to make sure that you are getting those. I don't think I can hit both of those wolves with an LB, but I'm going to try. Nope, I can't, so we'll just go ahead and cast a blizzard on that one. Now, a lot of people may be wondering like what it takes to beat this for your first time, like with your first party or whatever. I was able to get my first clears against this with level 30 party members and like a level 40 Medina. She was my most powerful character at the time. But obviously the stronger your party is, the easier this is to clear. I recommend, you know, finding strong friends to help make it easier, because it can be pretty challenging, especially since just a bad turn with positioning or bad luck with the boss getting in range, you can get hit with one of those, the Pair of Anguish, or a wooden horse on some of the other stages, and it can just put an end to your run real quick. Go ahead and confirm. I'm going to move Gilgamesh to the front, because we should have the boss boxed in next turn. I wonder if I can... I cannot Kotetsu. I would hit something in all cases. It's fine, it's not a big deal. Kotetsu is a nice ability for buffing, you know, the amount of damage that you do to a boss, but it's by no means necessary. Now, throughout this fight, I tried to keep Ishtola spaced out of range of the Pair of Anguish attack so that she doesn't get cleaved with it. Same goes with Medina. You would want to follow the same practice with your healers as well. Oh, no, we don't want Drain. Let's do Blizzard again. And so they're just going to stay safely out of range. And then Thancred, Mont, and Engelbert, and Gilgamesh are going to box the boss in so that the boss can't be moving around and cleaving people and stuff like that. See, now we've got Engelbert on this side, and I think that just leaves the one side open. Hopefully we can get a stun off with Blade Bash. Nope, not this time, but it is very helpful. If you're able to get that off, it can help. Now you'll see we have ads here that come and start healing the boss, and then another wolf opponent that you know can come in and attack you. If your damage is high enough, you can kill the boss before they actually do anything. If you don't kill them, it's not the end of the world. Let's see, let's get Mont in here. Ability, nope, he doesn't have any yet, so we'll just attack. But yeah, now that the boss is boxed in, the worst it can do is a Pair of Anguish, but since everybody is spread out, it will only ever hurt one person, and it will normally target only Thancred. So it's pretty ideal. We're gonna go ahead and do a foul since the boss. Oh no, we're not. Oops, I just targeted that whole area with it. Never mind. Okay, sorry everybody. You're gonna get exploded. You're gonna get exploded. Not if Medina explodes them first. Actually, wouldn't that be funny? Just kill my own party. It's actually really bad for your brave, so don't do it. Don't do what I'm doing. Mont's a bitch, so I don't really care. Okay. Sorry, Greg. Oh wait, it's not my Greg, I don't care. Okay, so do it like that, but without killing your party as much. Yeah, sometimes I get my inputs mixed up. So anyways, that's more or less how I'd recommend it. Again, if you want to go for the annihilate the enemy units, you do have to kill all of them, including the white mage and the extra wolves that spawn. But you know, that's pretty easy, especially if you've got, you know, a decent squad rolling in there. So let's go ahead and take a look at the last stage. This last stage is actually the best one to farm, the conquest stage, because it gives you the most tomestones per energy consumed. And similar to the other, or different from the other stages, this one doesn't actually have any completion requirements. So if you just eke out a win, you eke out a win. It doesn't matter who you use to do it, or if they die, or if you kill all of the enemies or anything like that. It doesn't matter. This one, similar to the other conquest stage, summons many additional enemies to fight you, but unlike the other one, this one is actually much easier to do. So I do recommend a starting formation similar to this one, where you have the bulk of maybe your brawlers or your tankier characters together. Oh no, I actually want him there. Yeah, you kind of want them together in a little bit of you know, you want them together because the boss will be attracted to Thancred before you have a chance to act, and it can kill your mages. So hopefully the boss will just attack Thancred. In fact, I'm going to move Thancred over one more square just so that he's further from the mages, because that Pair of Anguish attack comes back into play, and with this it should only hit 2 characters. Oh, Breast Ripper on Thancred instead. See, that's even better. I'm fine with that. Okay, so I'm going to leave Thancred right here. He's going to tank it from the front because the boss always does a forward charge on its first turn, which is really great. It means that I can take Gilgamesh around the side and self-haste. Could attack as well. All of it's fine. Whoever's on... Yeah, it's going to be up to you whether or not you want to kill all of the additional monsters or the characters, whatever, or, you know, the additional enemies. It's up to you. Like the Gilgamesh friend that I took can tank it just fine, but not everybody's characters can. So it's a matter of personal preference, I think, whether or not you would do that. I think I can get Medina's limit burst off and, yeah, wipe out a bunch, do a bunch of damage. If you can pull off a shot like this, it will make it easier. But as the enemies get closer, they will just continue to target Thancred because he has that Vow of Love card. So, you know, even if I don't kill them, Thancred will just have to tank it until my party is able to finish them all off. Similar to the other boss, we do want to surround this one. Just because if it's moving around, it is very hard to control it. Luckily, because it moves towards your squad, you are able to surround it on turn 1. So, you know, for its own turn, it charges your squad, and then you can just box it in. Thancred can just keep laying down the smack, no problems there. And he tanks like a boss. He's in Dragoon stance. He's not even in his DPS stance, which is hilarious. I can't use Kotetsu without freeing the boss or damaging myself, so I'm just going to go ahead and attack the boss. Will you stop that, you dumb archer? See, that archer's going to just be shooting at Thancred this whole time now, so I can ignore him. This archer, however, might continue to attack my mages, and if my mages were lower level, I'd be, you know, more concerned about them dying. So, you know, in that case, it's a good idea to attack the archer and take them out. And this one does have, I do think I can't remember if it has more HP or if I'm just worse at the game right this moment. Can't quite tell. But once it's boxed in, it's actually quite easy to take out. I wonder if we can auto it. Let's experiment on that together. Oh, Thancred walked away. So, yeah, you don't want to auto it because then you can free the boss. So don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. Don't auto it until you're super confident your squad can auto it. Because then they don't understand that they're making a box. They're just like, yeah, I'm going to go hit that guy and kill him in one turn. Which I'm like, I understand, Thancred. That was great. But since the boss is free anyways, I may as well make some space. What do you mean I can't hit the boss? Kotetsu. Oh, what? See, I don't use Gilgamesh enough, so I actually don't always understand how this ability works. Is that going to hit one of my own people? No? Okay, then we're good. Easy. That ability does a lot of damage. It's just a little tricky to fire off without hitting your own people. See, this is why, you know, you don't want the boss to get free, because he can just wander around, move out of range of your casters or your other damage dealers. I mean, in the sense that you would have to move to catch them up. If you've already assigned a cast, the boss can't escape it. But point being that if the boss moves away, it may be able to get away and lose your turns. You lose control. He might move and hit you with a Pair of Anguish. But the good news about the last 2 stages of the EX version of this event is that you don't have to deal with that wooden horse attack that hits a whole line of your party. That's actually the most dangerous attack that it will do in any of the versions. But on this stage you don't have to deal with that because it doesn't use it. So as you can see, a nice 200 tomestones from that. I do wish more currency dropped from this because you still have to grind the crap out of them to get like job stones and stuff like that. But that's more or less how I take on the EX stages for this. Whenever it's, you know, daily reset time and it's time to buy those FF14 tickets, I hop on in there and I get some clears of the conquest stage using a team like that and a strategy like that where I just let the boss come up and I surround it and I hit it with everybody. And as far as the formation goes, it's just all about making sure that your party has you know, a decent balance. And the Vow of Love card is really good for this, just because of the ability to generate hate for the character that has it. So you saw in all of those, the boss was primarily focused on Thancred. You could throw that card on Engelbert, you could throw that card on Mont, you could throw it on just about anybody who is able to tank a few hits, buy yourself some time. But again, I wouldn't recommend you attempt this if your squad is below level 30. At level 30, you can clear it, but it will be a challenge, and then above level 30, it becomes much easier. Once you start hitting your 40s, it is very easy to beat those stages, so just keep that in mind. Hopefully this gives you an idea of what it looks like in there if you were looking to give it a try for yourself. So that just about covers it. So let me know what you thought of this video down in the comments below, and I'll see everybody in the next video.